Good afternoon, everyone. Happy World Food Day. We are pleased to be sharing with you today on World Food Day one of our foodies. He's a dad, he's a communicator, he's a social change influencer. He's so many things, and he's going to be joining us today to prepare some special meals. So here, let me introduce you all to Mr. Garth Williams. Hi, Garth. Sorry, I don't think we're hearing you. We haven't been hearing you. Hi, Garth. Are you there? Okay, everyone, we like to apologize. We're just having some technical difficulties, but we're going to be resolving it. Just give us 2 minutes, less than a minute. Thank you. Can you hear me, Garth? Okay. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you at all. No. I can read your lips, but I can't hear. Okay, let's try to add you. Let's try to add you again, Gareth.
All right.
Garth?
You hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Okay, everyone. So we're back on the live. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, so it's to you, Garth.
All righty. Let me just switch cameras, and that's better. Okay, cool. So let's start over. All right. Good evening and welcome to everyone, wherever you're tuned in from. So happy to have you on. My name is Garth Williams. I'm a father and I love food. I think that's the only qualification I need right now to share with you, right? So it's World Food Day. It's the FAO's 75th anniversary. So happy anniversary, FAO. Anyhow, we can pop these up too. Now, this year's observance of World Food Day is all about cooking to reduce food waste. And the truth is, quite often we end up wasting a lot of food, right? We go into the supermarket and sometimes you see some items and they look a little less than what you probably desire. Let's take a look at this green bean, or in Jamaica we call it string bean, right? You take a look at that, you realize that it's a little blotchy. But you figure that, oh, this is not good, and you discard it. Who's going to eat it? Who's going to eat it? It's still got nutrients, right? It's still got nutrients, but what we need to do is just get over all this kind of appearance. This is not spoiled. This is not spoiled. It's just got a couple of spots on the skin, right? So today, what we're doing is we're going to be cooking food that sometimes you'd probably discard. One of the things we're making today, if you come with me, is that we're going to be doing a banana milkshake, right? And the bananas are overripe. They look like this. You probably wouldn't pick these up in the supermarket, would you? But guess what? These bananas actually still have nutritional value. Of course, though, we're going to be mixing it with some of these, right? Because we don't have a lot of bananas here. But we're going to be mixing it with a couple of these other bananas. But if you also notice on this banana, it's got some blotches on its skin too. Now, lots of times people would probably put this stuff away. They wouldn't use it. And where does it go? It ends up in a dump somewhere, wasted, right? I don't have all the figures with me now to quickly recall, but I will share with you probably a little bit later how much food goes to waste around the world, right? And that's what we want to bring a spotlight on. Stop wasting food. Use bananas like these, or if you have these in your home and they got overripe, use them as well. All right. So we'll be making the banana milkshake, and then we're also going to be doing some garlic roasted vegetables. So we've got our string beans or green beans, depending on where you're from. That's what you might call it. We've got some carrots, right? And these carrots, you might notice, have got a little bit of blotch here and there. These are not spoiled, right? These are not spoiled. So I'll be cutting those up as well. So it's carrots, string beans. We're going to be using obviously garlic, and we've got also some sweet peppers that we'll be using as well for that dish, right? Then now the main dish is going to be creamy chicken pasta in a coconut pumpkin sauce. And you might have got chicken in your fridge, right? Probably some rotisserie chicken like we've got right here, right? And you have a breast or so left over, still got nutritional value, but guess what? You may have tossed it out. It's only a couple days old. It's been in your fridge for 2 days. All right, that's not bad, right? As long as it's been refrigerated or it's in your freezer. Don't toss it out. Use it. Use your leftovers, right? Save some money. Save some food. So my family is going to be joining me. Let me introduce them to you. So I'll be joined by my son and my daughter, and here they are. This is Noel, and that's Nicholas. All right. So Nicholas is the milkshake boss. Right? And Noel will be just helping all around. All right, so we'll get them involved in just a moment, but we're really happy to have you. Wherever you're watching, if you're watching on Facebook right now, or if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to share your comments, ask your questions. Christian, who did the introduction earlier on, will probably field those to me, and I'll be able to respond to you, right? But we're going to get cracking just now. All right, so the first thing we're going to be preparing is our garlic roasted vegetables, right? And I'm going to be doing that in this pan right here, all right? So what's going to happen is that we're going to grease that pan. We're going to ask Noel and Nick to help me get their fingers all greasy with butter to grease the pan. Nick's excited, Noel is not. We're going to grease the pan. We're going to put in some garlic, right? And then we're going to add a little salt, a little black pepper. We've got our oven already preheated to 190 degrees. All right. So we've got that. And once we've got the oven preheated, it's doing that right now. Then we're going to cover this pan, and we're going to roast those vegetables in there, and then toss them around for 25 minutes. All right. So the garlic roasted vegetables, pretty easy stuff to prepare. So we've already cut up some of our green beans, right? And we're going to be doing the same thing to our carrots. Now, this type of cut is called a julienne cut. I'm not the master of it, to be honest, but I do try. And if you have to, with you're doing the knife, you got to kind of bend your fingers like that so that you don't risk taking them off with the knife. But you hold it, and then you come right through it like that, right? And that's how you get all of these cuts right here. So we're going to be doing that for a little bit. Won't take us too long to get there. We're going to ask the kids just now to get their fingers all greasy, as I promised. So they're getting the butter out the fridge. I'm going to get the butter out the fridge and get a spoon and then smear it around. So the spoon, please. All right. We'll probably just make Nick do this one because it's not a lot. So, Nick, your task is to stand on your stool. Right. So all you've got to do is just smear the butter around with your hand. No, with your hand. Yeah. Smear it around. Yeah. Rub it all over the base. All right. Good. So while he's busy over there smearing the butter around, I've got some broccoli that I'm going to be adding to it as well. So we should probably just chop that broccoli just over now. How's it going, Nick?
Fine.
You having a good time over there?
Yes.
All right, good stuff. So we've got our broccoli. It's a pretty big head of broccoli. We won't be using all of it. Instead, we just use like a half probably. So we can put that back. And always make sure that you try and use your broccoli as quickly as you can. It doesn't have a very long shelf life once you unpackage it. So I would say to you, probably if you get your broccoli on a Sunday or a Saturday, if you can use it by Monday or Tuesday, that'd be pretty good, right? So, oh, Nick, you're finished. Let's see the job that Nick did over there with smearing the pan. All right, good stuff. So now we're gonna get Noel to put the garlic all across the base of the pan. So here you go, man. You don't need that. Garlic right there. Just sprinkle it all across the butter. So I want to get an even spread of garlic all across it. All right. So, of course, this meal is pretty nutritious. We've covered probably about 4 or 3 vitamins with our green beans, or string beans, or carrots, or broccoli. All right. We're going to add a little salt, a little black pepper. We're going to cover it up. And then we're gonna just pop it into the oven at 190 degrees Celsius for like about 25 minutes. Luckily, we've got a timer on our stove. All right, so it's time.
Done.
Good. To add our vegetables. All right. So let's get our broccoli in there. Let's get some of our carrots in there. And let's get some of our string beans in there. And then let's get Noel and Nicholas to put the rest of these in there. Be careful now. Go. Yeah, all right. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Not bad. Yeah. So it's always a good thing to get your kids involved in cooking. Because what it means is when they become teenagers, they can actually help you cook while you kick your feet up. No, but it's an essential life skill, and it's a very good way to interact with your kids and to build a good bond with your kids. All right? Yes, Nicholas? Okay, thank you for telling me. All right. So, yeah. So it's a really, really good way to bond with your kids, to bond with your family, and to spend some quality time together. All right, now I'm no salt bay, right? But I'm going to be adding some black pepper or some sweet pepper right now, as well as some black pepper to all of this. And I'm using a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Yeah, I went fancy to it. So you can just add a little bit of black pepper for this look and see. All right. And then for the salt, it's pretty much the same thing. We're just going to just grind a little bit of salt onto it. Not too much. You can add that if you so desire, right? Because the butter does already have a little bit of salt in there, right? And now it's time to cover it and pop it inside the oven. There we go. This is the most popular foil paper brand in Jamaica. I don't know if anybody else do foil paper, but Diamond, trust me, from Nigel Point to Moran Point, Diamond cover Jamaica in a foil, right? If you're not from Jamaica, if you're from Jamaica, you know Diamond, right? If you're not from Jamaica, look for it. I don't even know where Diamond is made. I probably should look at this, right? But the most important thing right now, covering our our pan. And that's good to go. All right. So pop this into the oven. 190. And then we set this to 25 minutes. Come and look, all right there, 25 minutes. All right. So we're gonna hear a buzzing going off in that time, and then we're ready. All right. Now, the next thing we've got to do is our pasta, right? And our pasta, it's not the most Jamaican. To be honest, it's really not the most Jamaican meal. Let's just be straight up about that, right? The truth is, pasta's got lots of calories. So if you work hard, then you want to put back those calories, right? But one of the other things about pasta is it doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't cost a lot at all, right? So what you want to do is you can get a pack of pasta for like about $100, which is basically like about $200, which is like over $1 US, right? So call it $2 US for a pack of pasta, right? So we're just gonna boil this water and get the pasta in there. Also, we're going to be steaming our pumpkin because we got some pumpkin that sometimes you might go to the supermarket and when you take a look at the pumpkin, you're like, all right, I'm gonna put this back. But you don't need to put it back. You absolutely don't need to put it back at all. So we've got that pumpkin right here already diced, right? We're going to be using a steam basket for the pumpkin. We're not going to boil the pumpkin. We're going to be using steam to cook the pumpkin rather than boiling it directly. That way we manage to preserve it a little bit more. And the pumpkin is going to form part of the coconut pumpkin sauce that I mentioned earlier. Right? So steam the pumpkin, and then we've already got our Jamaican coconut milk. You see it? Thick. All right. And you don't have to buy coconut milk. What you can do is take a dried coconut and grate it. Right? So I put in all the hard work already. Grated the coconut and juice it. And to juice it, all you need to do, once you've grated the dried coconut, right, in a pan with water, right, you squeeze the pumpkin, the coconut that you've grated, the grated coconut. Keep on squeezing and then you strain it off and you pour it off and you have yourself 1 cup of coconut milk, right? So after we steam the pumpkin, we're going to be pureeing it in coconut milk. That will form the sauce for the pasta, all right? So we'll get there in just a moment. What we need to do now is start preparing to make our sauce. So where's the other pot that I needed? Right here. Steam basket down here. If you don't know what a steamer basket is, now you will. All right. So we pop out the old trusty steamer basket, right? And voila, it opens, yes? And you just pop the steam basket into the pot, like so. We're gonna get a little bit of water added to the pot. Hi, Nick. We're gonna get a little bit of water added to the pot, and then we will add the pumpkin to it. Once we get it steamed up enough, then we add the pumpkin to it, and we cook the pumpkin that way. All right. So let's pop that over there, and then switch this burner on. Nice. All right. So while that is getting all steamy, we're going to be using a little bit of thyme, right? And sometimes when you buy thyme, you'll buy it nice and fresh like this, right? And the thyme will be all green, right? But sometimes the thyme can go brown because it gets dry. Well, you can use dried thyme as well, right? I find dried thyme particularly useful when I'm making like soup, right? Love dried thyme in soup, and I just drop the whole bundle in there, right? But for today's purposes, we won't be dropping the whole bundle of thyme. What we're actually doing is we're picking it off the stem. So we're picking the thyme leaves off the stem. And if you've never picked thyme leaves off a stem before, it's not that difficult to do. You go in the opposite direction in which the leaves were are growing. Let's see if we can get Nick involved here. Step right up, son. So you're going to grab the tip. Watch me now. Grab it like this, and you hold it, and then you just slide your hand down, and we're picking the leaves off. You think that it looks very easy? All right, let's see. Let's see how easy it is. Try it with that. And I try it with this. Grab it, hold it over this, hold it over the cutting board, and then pull it down slowly. One again. Right. Oh, yeah, it's easy for real. Exactly. So we're just pulling the leaves off. If you ever get a couple of stems, that's okay. All right. What you really want to do is get the leaves off it. And you're probably wondering, what's the benefits of using the leaves and not the stem? Well, you get a lot more flavor out of it. Market, the stem carries a strong bit of flavor as well, but you don't get all of the thyme stem in your mouth when you're chewing, right? Now, if we look over here, in this spot, our steam basket is going. It's steaming, yeah? So all you do is just add the pumpkin to it, all right? And then we're gonna cover it. We're gonna turn down the flame just a little. All right, we're gonna turn the flame down just a little under it because we don't need it to boil out like that. We just need to ensure that there's a steady flow of steam coming from the pot. All right. So still adjusting my stove. All right, I think we're good there. All right. So we're also burn myself. Gotta be careful with the kitchen, eh? So we're gonna be putting some of these things back in the kitchen, in the fridge, because you want to keep your work area clean. All right. We've got our trusty pasta here, and soon we'll be adding that pasta to the pot over there because it's boiling. Now, in the meantime, this dish is very easy to prepare. By the way, it doesn't take very long for us to prepare it. So we're going to be able to finish this probably in another 15 or so minutes. Right? Then discard this one of these, which means in the meantime we could probably start making the milkshake, don't it? Yeah. All right. So the milkshake is fun and easy to make. I just need the two you have in your hand, Nick, and the rest of those other ones, right? The milkshake is very fun, very easy to make. We're going to need a blender. So let's get this blender out right here. All right. And we're going to need these bananas. I'll put those bananas down in a little while. Actually, we're going to cut the bananas and put them into a bowl.
Take off all the peels.
So we'll peel the bananas in just a moment, and then we're going to pop them into this bowl. We're going to add some ice cream. We're going to add some milk. We're going to blend it all together. We're going to pop it in the freezer. Oh, Nick peeled one of the bananas already. All right, just put it right there. So I told you, he's the milkshake boss. This boy lives for milkshakes, right? We're going to give Noel a dinner knife. And that will help her. That will help her to peel the bananas. Here you go, darling. Right? So once you peel, you just pop them in there. And then we will check on our water for the pasta. Not quite ready just yet, but we'll get there in a little while. Now,
Hi, Garth. Sorry, we've lost your audio. You're very low now. I think we can.
How about now?
Yes, yes, we're hearing you now.
Okay. How long did you lose my audio?
Not long, just when you had the banana in hand.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
Hold it with the two hands now. Try to peel it first before you try cutting it off. All right, cool. All right, so I was just reminding everyone who either is already on or just joined that it's World Food Day. The theme is cooking to reduce waste, and we're just using items that sometimes you probably would have passed in the supermarket aisle or in your market and gone, no. And it's really just a matter of optics and nothing else. It's not that it has spoiled or anything. So if you take a look over here, realize that no one has peeled the bananas, right? And if you look inside there, it's still good bananas. Still pretty good bananas. It's just that the skin went a little bit blotchy. You can discard the peel now, darling. All right. So we've got our pumpkin being steamed. And if you just take a look inside that pot right there, steaming the pumpkin. So we'll be ready for it soon because we're going to make a puree out of pumpkin, steamed pumpkin and the coconut milk, right? And that will be the sauce for our pasta. We're also using some chicken that I had rotisserie chicken in the fridge. It's been in there like for 2 days, and we're going to be using this, cutting it up, and adding it to the pasta. All right. And we've got some vegetables, which have 10 minutes left on them in the oven. All right. So we're coming along pretty nicely. We just took the stems off some thyme, right? To come on over. And what we're going to be doing in preparation for the chicken and the pasta is that we're going to be sauteing these onions, right, in this spot right here. And then we're going to add the puree from the coconuts and pumpkin to that pot. Then we're going to add the chicken to it for a little bit and cook the pasta al dente and then transfer the pasta into the sauce. And that will be it. We'll garnish it and all that good stuff, right? And that will be paired with the garlic roasted vegetables, which have less than 10 minutes on them inside the oven, all right? It's going to be a bit of a heavy meal because we're going to be making a milkshake as well. So it's creamy chicken pasta, and then it's the milkshake. So it's heavy on the calories, but it's comfort food, and it's a long weekend in Jamaica. So hey, live a little. It's Friday, right? Work it out back though sometime next week, right? All right, good stuff. So our onions are pretty much good to go. I just want to see this water start boiling, and yes, it is. So we've got the water boiling for the pasta. My son want to look in there. He loves seeing water boil and stuff like that. I don't know how it go, but it's him. All right. So all we gotta do now is add our pasta to the water. And it won't take too long to boil, probably about 7 minutes. So by the time we hear the vegetables go off inside the oven, if you come down here, you can probably see the vegetables. I think you're seeing a reflection mostly. But the vegetables are on the inside. There they are, on the inside of the oven. So they've got a little while left in them to go. All right, now we need milk, we need ice cream, we need bananas, and what we're going to do is get the milk and the ice cream. And while Nick sets himself up,
Hooray!
you good, boss?
Yes, Daddy.
All right, cool. So step away 1 second, Nicholas, because the milk we need is under here.
Warm milk.
Yeah, we're using warm milk on this one, even though the ice cream is cold. All right, Nick. So here's where everybody wants to get involved. the corner crowded. Come down. Our pasta is boiling, as you can see over here, right? So we're just going to leave the cover half on, so we don't slow down the boiling process too much. And I think I'm going to clear this corner right now so that we have a little more space to work. As you can tell, the kids really want to get involved with this. They really want to get involved with making the milkshake happen. So let's bring this out here. All right, so we've got our ice cream in this container. Yeah, ice cream. Yes.
I want to taste it.
You want to taste it? All right, hold on.
Yay. Taste this.
Tasting the ice cream. Apparently, it's very important to taste the ice cream.
This is like cookie and cream, but it's vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, cookie and cream is the same thing as vanilla ice cream.
But it has cookies.
Okay. So here we go now. We've got our ice cream to add, so we're going to put a couple of scoops of ice cream. 1 scoop from Noel, 1 scoop from Nick. Just take your time. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Drop that. Good. Nick, your turn. Okay. All right, Nicholas, getting his ice cream on. Go. No, don't shake it. Don't shake it. Just use your finger and scrape it off. There you go. Give me one more, Nick, because that was a small one. You won't get all of it. Go on again. No, you need more than that. Get it into the thing. Right. There you go. Drop that in there now, Nick. Use the finger. Right. You had butter on your fingers earlier. What problem with ice cream now? Lick off your finger, man.
My fingers feel extra slippery.
Now your fingers feel extra slippery. Go wash your hand and come back. All right, cool. So while Nick is off washing his hand, and we put this ice cream back in the fridge, then we probably might use a little more ice cream in there. So we're just going to cut up these bananas. They're hungry. Yeah, okay, it's not a problem, guys. Right, so the firmer bananas you cut smaller, but you realize some of this is already mush, right? All soft and sweet. That's the most important thing. Probably won't use this bit because it's really mushy at the end. Discard that, but everything else is good to go. All right. So, come Noel, it's your turn to add more bananas. You don't need a knife, just use a hand and get the bananas in there. Yeah? Go. Great. All right. And then we're going to add some milk. Now, usually you add milk by like the cup, right? But I'm just going with the spirit of my ancestors. So I'm just adding milk, and adding milk. There we go. I think that should be good enough. And then we'll put this on. Make sure the cover is on securely. And then we'll add some more ice cream. So you heard that noise a while ago? It means our vegetables are done. So I'm just going to switch the oven off. And then after we add some more ice cream, then we can take the vegetables out. Right? And then we're going to check on the pasta as well. So everything is coming together pretty nicely just now. So let's hold it always. Whenever you're removing your covers from your blenders, you hold the base of the blender and then you remove the cover. Yes, Nicholas, what you're saying? Yeah, that's fine. All right, good stuff. So I can smell the vegetables. Oh my goodness. They are going to be super good. All right. And so is this milkshake. All right. Now, here comes the fun part. How many? Press the button. This one. 2. He's doing that countdown. Press the button. All right. So let's see how thick it is. All right, still a little thick. So we can add another banana to it. And probably one more scoop of ice cream. So let's get the ice cream back. This requires a lot of ice cream. But it's because we're making a large quantity. And we have an extra container of ice cream. So we'll just peel one more banana. Nice and easy. And we'll just cut it into it.
Slice and dice.
Slice and dice. Thank you very much, Nicholas, on that one. Slice and dice, my son says. All right, good stuff. So you can easily do this at home. We are 25 minutes into this video and we're almost done, right? So here we go again. Take a look here. All right, good stuff. And let's see what the consistency is like. It's a little thicker than it was just now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this into the refrigerator. We're going to put it into we're going to pour it out into a couple of glasses. And then we're going to, oh my God, this is amazing stuff. You're going to taste it soon. All right, cool. So we're going to put this into a couple of glasses and then we will leave it in the fridge. I'm going to pop it into this mason jar. And there we go. Oh, look at that beauty. Can you imagine when this is all done in the fridge, in the freezer? And it's thick. Oh, and so cold. Oh my goodness. It's going to be amazing stuff. So this is our banana milkshake. All right. And that's easy. So we're going to put these in the freezer. And then we'll attend to our vegetables. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're doing our banana milkshake and our creamy chicken pasta in a coconut pumpkin sauce, along with our roasted vegetables. And our roasted vegetables are now done. So we can remove them from the oven. Yes, Nicholas? Yes. Now, we've got some pasta going, so we need to check to see if the pasta is ready. I think it should be by now. So we can switch the pot off and pop the cover over there. And then, we get out one piece. And the way to check to see if your pasta is done is that you just put it on a cutting board and see if the fork goes through it. And yes, the fork went right through it pretty easy. So we're going to drain it with a colander. Thank you very much for that. Turn the colander over there for me. Okay. And draining our pasta just now. It's all that steam. Good stuff. All right. So while we let our pasta cool just a little bit, it's time to cut up the chicken and also take a look at our vegetables. So let's see what our vegetables look like. And I think we overdid our broccoli, but everything else is perfectly fine, right? And all it requires now is that because we've got the garlic already cooked underneath the vegetables, you can just toss them around in the plate, in the pan, and they will take the flavor of the butter. Oops, some of them spilling. Let's see. Carrot is tender. Still got a little bit of crunch to it. And then obviously the broccoli is very, must be cooked. And so is the green beans and the sweet peppers. So we know that our veggies are perfect. So we can leave them aside. And now it's time to get to our pumpkin, which also is finished. And that's really good stuff. So pumpkin in the pot there. So we're about to puree that pumpkin with coconut milk, which we have already identified. Right? So let's get the base of this other blender. By the way, folks, this blender has been in my family for 30 years. Okay? My mom got this blender in 1990. So that's an old blender. It still works. All right? It does. We've used it before. All right. So let me take care of this over here. All right, good. So we're going to saute our seasonings. Why am I over here again? For olive oil. Right. So we're going to add a little olive oil to our pot. We're going to add a little olive oil to our pot, and after we get it warm, we could probably just pour the coconut milk. Where did I put that milk? There we go. So 1 cup of coconut milk poured right into our 30-year-old blender. And we've got our pumpkin. We're going to get our pumpkin out just now. Yes, the pumpkin is all steamed. Take a look there. Good. And now we're going to get out our pumpkin and pop it into the blender to make our puree. A puree is just a type of way to blend out like fruits and vegetables, right? But because of what we're doing today, we're doing it like this to really give a good bit of flavor to our pot. All right. So we just add a little bit of olive oil to our pot. When it gets hot, then we know that we can always add some water to this cup for me, please. So we're almost at the end, folks. We're almost at the end. That's enough, thank you. Again, our garlic roasted vegetables are already complete. Our milkshake already complete in the fridge. And now we are doing our coconut pumpkin puree for our pasta. And here we go. And that should be that. Literally, that's all we need. Now it's time for our coming Nicholas. Now it's time for us to add our seasoning. Good. Don't throw stuff in the kitchen. Let me just turn the flame down under the saucepan real quick. And then we add our seasoning. See that? Good. And what you want to do with the onions is that you want to break them like this. You don't want to dice them too finely. You don't want to chop them too finely. What you need are some concentric half circles, right? So you just add them to the pot. Right? Like so. I'm going to add a little more. All right. Good. I'm going to add a little more. Since I already cut up half of an onion. Still don't want to make sure I don't waste any. Right? Almost done with adding onions. And what you want to do is use a wooden spoon in your pots. Right? Your saucepans, use wooden spoons. All right? Because you don't want to use your forks and sharp spoons to scratch, particularly like this, which is a non-stick, right? And no plastic, right? You try not to use plastic too much. Sorry if you lost me just now. Somebody was calling on my cell phone. All right, so we're almost done with that. We're going to also add to our pot our thyme, which we took off the stem. So we don't need to add a lot right now because I'm going to add some more towards the end so that I can still add a fresh layer of flavor to the pot. All right, but what I've got to do now, cut it up chicken. Now you can cut it up if you want, you can flake it, right? Just depends on how you want to do it, right? But I just want to break it up into small pieces so I can distribute it better in the pasta. All right, and once you cut it up and the flavor is properly distributed, then what it means is that you get chicken almost with every bite, right? And you definitely get that chicken flavor with every bite. Now the interesting thing about this pasta is that it is vegan at this point. So even when I add the coconut milk puree, it's still vegan. But you can stop right here if you want. You don't have to add chicken to it. You could probably add mushrooms, right? So what you do is at this point you add the chicken, the mushrooms to that pot with the seasonings, right? And if you notice how much this chicken breast has really come apart, let's take a look at that. All right, chicken breast has really come apart, right? So we're almost through. We're almost at the end. So we're gonna add the chicken here now. And as a matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna add chicken now. I'm gonna add the coconut puree now. All right. And if you take a look at the onions, you'll probably realize that they are almost translucent, right? So here we go, adding that beautiful golden coconut pumpkin puree, right? We're gonna turn the heat up because we want to bring it to a boil, right? And once it's boiling, then it's time for us to add our chicken and our pasta. Now remember, the pasta has already been cooked, right? So that's why I just need to bring this to a boil so I can coat all of the pasta and I can coat all of the chicken, right? Because that's what you really want to get. So let's take a look at our pasta over here. Now, the one thing I should have done with this pasta was just run some cold water over it just to make sure that it don't stick too much. But I think we're good now, right? And once it started to boil, then it's time for us to pop it in. So let's go take a look at it now and see where we are. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a boil, don't you think so? So here is where now we're going to add the remainder of our chicken as well as our pasta, or already cooked pasta. The chicken is already cooked, the pasta is already cooked. And we're also put in the rest of the thyme. That's right there. And let's stir this around a little bit. See how thick that is? Oh, this is beautiful. This is indeed beautiful. So now we're like 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away. And once we're done with the pasta, then it's going to be time to plate it. Nick, you all right around there? All right. So in about 3 minutes, it'll be time to plate it. So let's bring this back to a boil, cover the pot, bring it back up, and then we're going to plate it right here. And we're going to get mommy. So you're going to see the entire family tonight. We're going to get mommy to come by and give us a little review. She did not participate in this one tonight. So we're going to seat mommy at the dining table and stuff. Now, one important thing to do while you're cooking, always try to clean up as you go along, right? So we can pop the rest of this chicken back into the fridge. We can also pop the butter back into the fridge. Water, take a break, take a sip. Good stuff, right? So you clean up as you go along. So we got our black pepper and our salt. And when I see the whole of my house now, I don't know what inside my house look like. makes it seem like my house is the kitchen, right? Well, it is the center of our life in this place, right? So we got our veggies over there. And what else can we clean up? We can clean up this here. Pop it in here. Sink stuff. We're finished, almost finished with this. Definitely through with the blender. So what we can do now is just pop this blender back into place. Right? We don't need the remainder of this bit either. So we'll put them away. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Very kind of you, sir.
Welcome, Daddy.
I did say 3 minutes, so let us check to see if our puree is ready for us to add our pasta. And alas, it is. So you can smell the coconut milk. Oh, in this one. Be careful, please. All right. Always make sure that when you're cooking, you keep the long handles on your pots over the stove, so that way you don't mistakenly knock into them. And now to add our pasta to this gorgeous sauce, which is full of flavor, most importantly. So there we go. And you stir it around, you fold it in to ensure that you get as all of the pasta coated by all of the coconut pumpkin sauce. All right. So you just keep going. All right. It's penne pasta, which is great, which means that the sauce can enter one end and come up the other. Right. So once we've done our coating, we leave it again for another 3 or so minutes. So the sauce can thicken a little bit, and it's pretty warm in here. They say the kitchen should be the coolest part of your house. We've got some big windows, some big open windows, but the one thing we don't have is a lot of breeze coming in, right? Yes, if you can put that into the sink. Thank you very much. All right, and we keep folding. And you leave the pot open so it can dehydrate a little quicker. All right, and guess what? We've still got quite a bit of the onion and, well, not so much the onion, but more so the sweet pepper. A little bit of onion, a little bit of scallion there. All right, we're just going to add those babies right into the pot. All right. Yes, Nicholas, what you saying? Other banana? We're still using the tomato roll. So earlier, Nicholas and his auntie Tashai were able to make a tomato rolls, because we're going to use the tomato rolls and some parsley. We chopped the parsley already. We got to chop the parsley so that we can use that to garnish the meal. All right. And it is now 6:59. So it would have been on for about 55 minutes, which means our 1 hour cooking session is almost at an end. And we are on time with everything pretty much. So we're just going to leave that for a little bit. We can start to, yes, Nicholas? Yes, Nick, I see, but we can't do anything about that right now. All right, good. So it's almost time for us to plate our meal. So let's start with our meal. We've got our vegetables already. Where is Mommy? Mommy's on her way. All right, good stuff. All right, so we may have overdone our broccoli a little bit. It's not as green and as pretty as I had anticipated or wanted, but that's fine. So our broccoli. These are garlic roasted vegetables. Let's add some carrots and some green beans or string beans to the plate. All right, that should be enough. And let's come back now to our pasta. You see how gorgeous this stuff looks? All that green, all that yellow. It feels like Jamaica. Right? And we're going to add that just now to our So our pot, we're gonna let it cool for just a little bit, but let's check on our parsley. And we have to put our parsley in cold water to try and give it some life. And we're going to use paper towel to see if we can get some of the extra water off it. But when you have your parsley in the fridge, right, and you want to preserve them, best thing to do, put them in the freezer. I learned that the hard way today. All right. There's quite a bit of water in the parsley at the moment. Oh, there. I think I squished it. All right. Pat dry. All right. Let's see what we can make happen with this parsley. But definitely we're going to be using it along with the tomato rolls. All right. So if I'm lucky enough, I will be able to get some use out of my soaked parsley. Please don't zoom in on this. Actually, immediately zooms in. All right. Let's see if we can get something out of this parsley. Almost at the end, folks. Don't know. This is our tomato rolls. We made this tomato rolls earlier on. All right, good stuff. And let's see if we can plate our. Oh boy, we can get out of that parsley. All right, now if you take a look at our pasta, see how thick that sauce is. Yeah, and you can get that flavor out of it. Oh my goodness. All right. So now, let's plate this baby. Yes, Nicholas?
Are you going to check on the milkshakes?
The milkshakes are fine. We just won't get there.
Okay.
And add that pasta. So colorful, eh? We get the chicken in every scoop. Chicken in every scoop. What? What is it? What? Right. So now that we've added all of that stuff, we put it back. So it's all fresh looking from mommy, right? And presentable. Oh man, I'm sweating like I don't know what to say. All right, so here we go. Plate look nice and cleanish. Let's get some utensils out on that table. Gotta make it look good for mine. Nicholas is gonna place those utensils, and you got to be delicate with the rolls. So I don't know what I can do with this parsley here, but I'm going to sprinkle it over the plate. Not so easy to sprinkle at all. But we're still going to have a little fun with it. All right, good. Are we getting there? I think we're kind of getting there. We're almost there. Got a little work to do. There we go. And with the rolls, you've got to be gentle with the rolls. All right. So apparently, I'm supposed to scoop it up like so, and then where do I place this baby? Right here at the edge. Oopsie. There we go. All right. And we clean that up. Not the sexiest plate, but still, nonetheless. All right, so there you have it. Your creamy chicken pasta in coconut pumpkin sauce, your garlic roasted veggies, and of course, we've got our milkshake that we're going to present to mommy in just a moment. So if Mommy would be so kind as to take a seat. Have a seat, Mom. There you go. Bon appetit. And here comes the banana milkshake. All right, good stuff. Dig in. Tell me what you think. All right. So again, if you're just joining us, we're at the end of this afternoon's presentation, today's World Food Day presentation, under the theme Cooking to Reduce Food Waste. We've used a lot of items that otherwise we probably would have passed in the supermarket because of how they may have appeared. Not that they're spoiled, but you would probably would have thought otherwise than to take it up, right? So we've got our garlic roasted vegetables. We've got our creamy chicken pasta in a coconut pumpkin sauce. And Mummy is chewing away but not giving an opinion until now. Your thoughts?
Well, the pasta is very flavorful. You can taste the different flavors of the chicken.
Could you speak up, please?
You can taste the flavor of the chicken, the pumpkin, and the coconut milk make a very good combination. It does make it creamy. It's almost as if there's cheese in there, but there isn't. The vegetables were still firm, but they were flavorful. You could taste the garlic that was used in it. They were not soft and soggy, so they were very nice. The broccoli, I haven't tasted it as yet, but I figure it's the same as the other vegetables. Firm but well cooked and flavorful.
All right, good stuff. And if you would be so kind as to pause your chewing and to take a sip out of that banana milkshake.
Very good banana flavor. Lots of banana flavor.
Bananas.
Want to taste some?
Yes.
All right, good. So there you go. We have some water as well to choose. The kids are going to give it a taste, so let's hear their take on it. Nicholas giving it a sip. Tell us what you think.
Perfect.
Say it to Karen.
It's perfect.
I don't know if that's because they had a hand in it, but it's really good again to always get your kids involved. You can always do it. It's not a difficult thing at all. Where are we now? It is 8 minutes after 7, so we've been online for about an hour and a little bit. Makes for quite a bit of watching, but we can share the recipe with you. You can follow me anywhere on Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter at Garth. I think my name should probably be somewhere on screen. I'm not sure, somewhere down here, but at Garth. That's OHGARTH. Please, 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 if you take one thing away from today's video, it should be that we need to stop wasting food. All right? So some of those bananas you see in the supermarket, once they're not spoiled, take them home, make a milkshake. Some of those sweet peppers, some of those string beans or green beans, pardon me. Some of those carrots, the pumpkins, take them home with you. Give them a new home in your belly. All right? But on behalf of me and my family, we thank you so much. Come say goodbye, guys. On behalf of me and my family, thank you guys so much for participating, so much for watching. Bye!
Oh, thank you so much, Garth. We have definitely enjoyed cooking with you and your family. It has been such a good experience. The food looks so good, so I'm very excited to try this at home. So thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We see the comments coming in and the questions. So we're going to be posting the video online so you can also watch it later on. But thank you all for joining us on this World Food Day special, Cooking to Reduce Food Waste. Thank you, Garth Williams and family, for joining. And everyone, remember, don't waste food. Use up those excess and all those ugly ingredients and make some delicious meals. Have a wonderful World Food Day. Thank you all for joining.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye, Garth. Thank you.
Bye. Hold on, I'm still on.